Wilfred Benitez making his first title defense against veteran Harold Weston of New York City. Harold Weston from New York City, but we shall see. Mandatory 8 count on all knockdowns. The officials, Richard Steele, Los Angeles, the referee. The judges, Cesar Ramos of Puerto Rico and Waldemar Schmidt of Puerto Rico, and the ring doctor is Dr. Emery Capella. The ring is 20 by 20, and we are ready. You've seen the records of the two fighters. Weston at 26-7 with 5 draws. Round 1. The champion, Wilfred Benitez, wearing the white trunks. The challenger, Harold Weston, wearing the black trunks. They met back in 1977 in Madison Square Garden, boxed to a draw. This is the first title defense. 147-pound champion, welterweight champion, WBC, by Wilfredo Benitez. Harold Weston, in his fight against Pepino Cuevas and against Macias as well, his last victory, a knockout, he fought a pressure fight that he pursued, stayed constantly on top of, feeling that he'd be better off inside than at long range. Bit of complaint there from the champion Benitez that Weston had hit him low. Neither man has a particular outstanding record as a knockout artist, but both can put you down. Weston digging into the body, and apparently Harold has heard some of the stories that Wilfredo may not have worked as hard for his first title defense as some thought he should. But he has been at it now for the better part of 3 weeks, and says he feels fine, he is in good shape, and he has no doubt but what he will win this fight. But then he thought he won the last time, then that too. You can see on that side of the ring, they get into that hot sun. The ring is covered, but it is quite warm. It appears that Harold Weston is disdaining some of his tactics during the early portion of his career. He was at that time thought to be kind of a cute fighter, but he pretty much comes straight at you right now. We have a minute to go in round number 1. Quick hands from Benitez reflected there. He used that particular left hand, that kind of action very successfully against Carlos Palomino, particularly during the middle portion of the fight. Half a minute to go in round 1. The WBC welterweight championship. Benitez defending against Weston. 15 seconds. And Benitez complaining. Weston is hitting him low. Round 1 is over. All right. Round 2. 15-rounder. Scheduled for that if it goes all the way. And Harold Weston again comes straight at the champion. Working busily inside. Weston can be very effective. So far, he apparently is of the opinion that he's better off working inside than staying out at long range against Benitez. You see Benitez putting that good solid left hook to the side of Weston's face there as he covered on the ropes. Benitez so far willing to let Weston control the pace of the fight. Champion continuing to back up, bide his time. Benitez with a record of 25 KOs in his 37 fights. Some of those were not against quality opponents in the early days of his career, and then he moved into the junior welterweight championship. He defeated Antonio Cervantes back in 19... in a while, he'll go flat-footed with you and try to rip. I'm not sure that he'll want to do that with Harold Weston because of the... Weston's a very durable boxer. Emil Griffith, who has worked in many instances, in fact, helped develop Harold Weston and has been a stablemate with him, is not in the corner today because they didn't feel it would be the right thing for him to be there. Griffith also has been very active with a lot of boxers. Emil Griffith, of course, one of the great boxers in this weight category in around 47 in the middleweight division. Again, that quick left hand, and it's a jarring, snapping hand that the champion has. That left just pops in there, and you saw that Weston's head just snapped back when he hit him with it. And over a distance, it'll take some toll on anybody. Again and again, it goes out there. Less than a half a minute to go in round number 2. Weston moving forward, digging to the body. An even tempo so far as we have concluded 2 rounds in this welterweight title fight. Round 3 as we come live via satellite from San Juan. Harold Weston wearing the black trunks, the challenger from New York. Wilfred Benitez, the champion, wearing the white trunks. I think I said that Emil Griffith was not in Weston's corner. I should have said he was not in Benitez's corner because he's been working with Wilfred. And of course, Griffith and Weston were stablemates for a long time. Bill Clancy is among those at ringside today watching, who handles both men. The counter-punching champion resting against the rope there, leaning back and then coming in with that good sharp left hook, and he scored with it a couple of times as Weston has him backed into the corner. And so far, this is pretty much the kind of tactics Weston used against the WBA champion, Pino Cuevas. Done a whole lot of lateral movement so far in the fight. It is scheduled for 15, though. Both men know full well that pace is a very important thing, particularly since neither carries the real bomb. A little more movement now by the champion Benitez. Good left hook by Benitez. Weston pummeling away on the rope, but the clean shot of that exchange belonged to the champion. Left hook right on the jaw. Alert our local stations along the way. At the end of this round, we'll take a station break. Weston has Benitez in the corner, working hard, and he was able to dig hard to the body with the left and the right hand to the back. Right hand to the back of the head, guard the champion. Out in the center of the ring with Gregory Benitez, the brother in the corner. Father is not here today. Theory is the chief second with Eusebio Worker, and Weston really banging away as the champion goes back against the rope. In his amateur days, Benitez was a left-hander. Once in a while, you still see a little suggestion of that. Crowd coming up now as Benitez starts a little more movement and starts winging away. In the meantime, gets back in the corner by Weston, who's just banging at the body. 20 seconds to go in round 3. To go, round 3. We'll be back with more of the Benitez-Weston WBC World Welterweight Championship fight after this word from our local station. Round number 4 as we move in this World Welterweight Championship fight. Both men clean so far, no marks on either. The one thing about the fight that's been interesting is that Harold Weston has been working to the body. And frankly, I get the feeling that the champion doesn't care for it a whole lot. The champion is a counterpuncher, Benitez. This is for the WBC welterweight championship of the world. Pepino Cuevas is the WBA champion. He is from Mexico. And Weston moving straight at his man, pretty much pointing him so far in this fight. And I frankly feel that right now Harold has things going his way as he works hard to the body. But it's the quick left hand of Benitez that's probably going to turn out to be a considerable bother, because he just kept peppering away at the eyes of Weston, and I wonder over the long pull if might not be some swelling there to cut down on the vision of the challenger. But they went at it like this last time they met at Madison Square Garden, and they wailed away at each other for the distance. That was before Benitez won the championship. He was only 18 years of age at that time. The champion's a counterpuncher, one of the reasons why he's willing to give up the ring. You see Weston digging away to the body and then trying to hook back to the head, and he's landed it a couple of times. He goes again back to the body and comes up above. Appears to be a little bit of an abrasion over the eye now of the champion Benitez, the right eye. That was blocked, the hook by the challenger. A minute to go in the fourth round. Weston, very determined, continuing to march straight at his man, taking that left hand and shaking it off. And when he can get close, he's hanging away at the body. The referee is Richard Steele from Los Angeles. And the judges are Cesar Ramos and Waldemar Schmidt of Puerto Rico. The right hand missing. Weston again is able to dig into the body of the champion. The round is over. A small abrasion in the corner of the left eye of the champion, and appeared to be a little bit over the right as well, but it was the left eye that drew the attention of the corner. But it's a very tiny little abrasion. At this point, not anything to worry about. Weston right now much more interested in going to the body than any place else, but he'll take what the champion gives him, and Benitez continues to yield the ring with Weston coming straight at him. This is Harold's second opportunity at a title, having lost the WBA opportunity to Cuevas, now with the WBC opportunity against the 20-year-old Benitez. I tell you, Weston gets him on the ropes. He doesn't let him get away free. He makes him pay for it. And so far, the champion has the expression on his face. You get the feeling he does not care for that pounding to the body. See Weston ripping away at the body, and every time he does, he brings the hands of the champion down. The counterpunching Benitez, in the meantime, is scoring, and got a good right hand in against the jaw of Harold Weston, and that backed up Weston a little bit. So the counterpuncher doing some scoring now out of the corner. He is a natural left-hander. There is power in that left hook. Working is literally leaning against the ring post. Weston digging to the body of the champion, countering, and he has countered very effectively in this exchange, and they've been at it solid now for a minute in that corner. This is a kind of a fight that Benitez had against Carlos Palomino. And this is also the kind of fight we saw Weston have the last two times out. Neither man a knockout artist, but both of them fine boxers, and they're just hanging in there now, ripping away at each other. Tremendous exchange, and it goes on and on. Endurance will become a big factor if this one goes the distance. Hard left to the body by Weston. Weston slipping a right hand underneath and got it to the jaw of the champion. Have a look as his corner people, Gregory, his brother, Oscar Terry, and your simple worker. Look at it. The eye appears to be all right. Hot, humid day. Respite in the corner will be most welcome by both men as the day wears on. In Weston's corner, no marks on him so far. And he apparently and his corner people seem satisfied. Harry Albert, the co-manager, Harold Weston Sr., the co-manager, father and trainer, Bernard Forbes, their cut man. They seem satisfied with the way things are going so far in the fight. Frankly, I think Weston has been able to control the pace of it so far. Benitez, the counter-puncher, yielding the ring to him. And in that last round, just bang, bang, bang out of the corner. It was an exchange that lasted almost a solid 2 minutes. Hard left hand by Benitez to the side of the head. This is the 6th round, scheduled for 15. Left hand in the face of Weston. Harold is coming straight at the champion. Nothing fancy. Benitez back against the ropes now, looking to counter. Back into that corner. Weston to the body. He has slammed the hard right hand into the rib cage on the champion's left side. Benitez coming from underneath with a good right hand. Another one to Weston's jaw. And a left hook. And another one by the champion. If Weston's going to stay in the corner with him, Harold's going to have to stay busy. Otherwise, Benitez will pick him apart. Right hand just missed. That left one didn't. The left one was right on the jaw of the champion. Now it's Weston leaning on the rope. The first title defense for the 20-year-old Benitez, 147-pound WBC welterweight champion. He wound up with the right hand and missed with it. Goes back to the body. This is grueling. Tough. Weston trying to fight off the rope, the champion missing. Goes with the right hand underneath. Uppercutting and missed with it. But he did score 2 or 3 times with that uppercut in the corner. Back in the 5th round and again here in the 6th round. And Weston gets a little wild there. Not much to choose between the two fighters so far. That's a pretty good ripping double combination there by the champion as he landed 4 blows to Weston's head. Benitez with very, very quick hands. And we have completed 6 rounds here in San Juan. 7th round now, and we're still working on those audio problems. We're coming to you from San Juan via satellite live, and there's some little problem somewhere. We're chasing it, trying to fix it. Sometime we hope you enjoy it. One of the things I'd like to point out that the challenger's corner is in the sun. The champion goes back to his corner. He sits in the shade, but the challenger is sitting in the sun, and we want to watch Weston now closely to see whether or not this heat and humidity might be wearing on him a little bit, because it has been a bruising, tough, grueling fight so far for 147-pounders. I thought the 6th round was the champion's best round. Weston continues to bang away at the body. One of the things you have to watch out with Benitez, he gets a volley going and he can stun you. May not knock you out, and he'll hit you so many times you won't be able to count him. Suddenly you realize that the world's turned over on you. Attrition. The body going right at the waistline. Dave Boy Green, the British and European welterweight champion, has a right hand by Benitez that scored, and it rattled Weston. Dave Boy Green, who fights the winner of this fight at May 26th, Monte Carlo, is at ringside watching. And the champion shakes his head after being a bit wild. And you will see that bout right here on ABC over most of these stations on May 26th from Monaco. Dave Boy Green, European and British champion. Again, the left hand of the body, and then Weston hooks it to the side of the head of the champion. Benitez a little more, I don't know, at this point I can't tell you whether Weston is losing a little bit in this heat or whether Benitez is going a little more aggressive. But I don't get the feeling now that Harold's quite as sharp as he was through the first 4. Getting a little wild, that's one sign of fatigue. He was getting off his punches first in the early going of the fight. Now he is hard right hand by Benitez. Weston still coming straight at him and still looking to the body. Champion moving a little more here in the 7th round. He has good balance. He's able to generate good punches, but that time Weston ripped a hard left hand right to the belly. And the 7th round is over. Let's go. Here's Dave Boy Green, the current European and British welterweight champion. He only lost one fight. That was Carlos Palomino. You'll also see Dave Green next Sunday on the World Superstars here on ABC. And that's the champion Benitez now quickening the pace somewhat here through round 6 and 7, particularly noticeable. The champion wearing the white trunks and the challenger Harold Weston in the black trunks. Harold is from New York City. Fight still close, grueling and tough. A lot of punches thrown. Back in the 5th round, they went head-to-head for better than 2 minutes in the corner. When you're going 15 with a championship on the line, you must pace yourself. And so far, you haven't seen a whole lot of evidence of that. They've been giving it everything they could find a place to unload it. Weston working to the body. The champion that time going hard to the body with the right hand. But primarily the attack of Weston has been to the body, and the champion continuing his familiar quick counterpunching. He has rattled and really jarred Harold Weston one time. That's the left hand by Harold Weston to the side of the head of the champion. Weston digs back to the body. A right hand by Weston to the champion's jaw as he weaves on the rope. Benitez becoming more of a moving target now as we have less than a minute to go here in round number 8. Weston wild there. The champion counters and gets him with a left hook. They fought to a draw when Benitez was 18 years of age in Madison Square Garden. That's the only mark on his professional fight record. At age 20, he's held the junior welterweight championship and now the senior welterweight championship. WBA junior and WBC senior. Only 20. Half a minute to go. Weston wild again as the champion steps in quickly and scores with the right hand. And now Benitez is getting off a little quicker and a little quicker as the fight wears on. 10 seconds. We've had 8 rounds. We move live via satellite to the 9th round in the WBC World Welterweight Championship fight between the champion Wilfred Benitez and the challenger Harold Weston. Benitez appearing quicker and quicker as the fight wears on. Weston is doing the same thing he's done throughout the fight. He's coming straight at the man. Not a whole lot of fancy movement, not much lateral movement, but so far over the last couple of rounds, he is not throwing as many punches as he moves inside. Early in the going, he was very busy when he started marching in. Again, remind you, we are outdoors. There's now a nice little breeze blowing, and that will have to help. But when Harold Weston goes back to his corner, he has to sit down in that warm sun. Oh, Benitez went back to that left-handed posture for just a moment there. He fought that way as an amateur, and they've worked constantly with him to stop him from it, but that's his natural position. He's a left-hander. So the general feeling is, through the streets of boxing, that you're better off from the right-handed position, particularly when you have a good left hand, and he certainly does. And being a natural left-hander, he generates a good deal of power in his left hook. Alert our local stations along the line. At the end of this round, we will take a station break. I think at long range, there's no question but what. Benitez will get the better of it. Weston is going to be better off working inside. Unable to land that right hand. A couple of times it appeared that the opportunity was there, but he's been just a fraction off from landing it. Hard right. Slipped underneath by the champion. Now it is Weston leaning against the ropes. We're in round 9. Overhand misses. Just missed with it. He was really trying to set him up. It's like whoa, this time he nailed it. But Weston is durable. He's loading it up. Weston digging underneath. We come up on a half minute to go here in round 9. Twice, Benitez loaded up the right hand. Once he missed completely. Second time he landed it. That time he just missed with it. Well, he's getting a little flat-footed now and going to the arsenal. Missed with another right hand. Oh, we've traveled through 9. We'll be back for more of the Benitez-Weston WBC World Welterweight Championship after this word from our local station. Beginning round number 10. And you can see the sun and the shade there, and as you see the ring as they move through it, over there in that corner where the sun is the brightest, that's right back in there behind the champion, right there in that corner. That's where Weston has to sit in between rounds. Sun beating right down on his neck. Harold Weston, who worked to the body very successfully in the early going, but appears to have slowed somewhat here during the middle round. And as we go into round number 10, I think I should point out that over the last 3 fights that you have seen here on ABC, the other night in Las Vegas, we had 1 round with Kenny Norton and Shavers. Then we had 7 rounds out of Holmes and Ocasio, and then in Arizona, we got 1 round out of Leonard and Daniel Gonzalez. So Sugar Ray winning that fight. So in this fight alone, we are now totaling more actual action than you've seen in the last previous fights. We've had a rash of early decisions. Knockouts. This one, everybody figured would probably go all the way, because neither man being the heavy puncher. So I must say that the champion loaded up that right hand on 3 occasions in the 9th round. He landed it once. He got it a little too high on the side of the head to really do a whole lot of damage to Harold Weston. Weston's very durable, tough fighter. Continuing to come straight at his man. Referee is Richard Steele from Los Angeles. Good right hand by Benitez. A good combination to the body and a left hook to the side of the head. All of that belonging to the champion. Weston, a right to the jaw. Left was picked off. With a long left hand. Pop, pop, pop. Inside 20 seconds to go now, the end of the 10th round. Continues a tough pace. Weston still wanting to work to the body. Benitez, very tough fellow to hit. He moves that head around so much that you really don't ever, unless you've got him off balance or look right into that camera so that the United States can see you, because we're going to be watching you in Monte Carlo. What do you think of the fight?
Well, I think it's a great fight, but I think Weston's playing right into his hands, falling in. And this is Benitez's game on the ropes and inside, he really looks good inside. And I think Benitez is just ahead now, Weston is just falling into his...
I thought that Harold, early in the fight, when he was coming in, he was much busier than he is over these last 2 or 3 rounds. He's not throwing as many punches as he makes his move inside.
Certainly, I think, his plan was to really have a go this time and, win the fight. But just being real busy.
Well, now you are scheduled to meet the winner. And if it is Benitez, what do you figure your tactics might be?
Well, I'll just let you wait and see in Monte Carlo, but I think me and Benitez, it'll be a really good fight because we're 2 different styles, and I think the 2 styles make a cracking fight.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Dave. Dave Boy Green, the European champion. And here we go down to round 11, and Weston comes out in a hurry. The father of Benitez showing up here at ringside, wanting to get into the corner, but the people who are here say no. The brother Gregory has been handling the corner, and Gregorio, the father, showing up, wanted to come into the ring area, but they're not going to let him do it. Benitez, the champion, appears distracted by the commotion in the corner. Weston not as busy as he was early. The champion finding a little more target area, it seems, too, for that left hand. He'd be getting just a little quicker with it. Weston may be firing just a little bit, but it would seem, as Dave Boy Green indicated, the champion has the edge over the last 2 or 3 rounds. Weston again throws the hard right hand to the body. That right hand by Weston behind the head of the champion. No damage. Say one thing about Dave Boy Green, that when he loads up his right hand, he can hurt you with it. So it's going to be very interesting. See how his tactics will be against the champion. Benitez misses with that. Of course, I'm reminded the champion must win if he is to be the man in Monte Carlo, because Harold Weston is still very much in the hunt in this one. We have a half a minute to go. Now they're back up into that bright sun.
Tú primero, Wilfred, tira tú primero. Ahí, siempre. Ahí. Vete a la derecha arriba. Ahora cuando rompan, vete a la derecha arriba.
And the round is over. All right, we move into the 12th round, and say again that Gregorio Benitez, Wilfredo's father, having arrived late, and he's created some commotion in the champion's corner, and climbed into the ring there he is right there. And he climbed up into the ring during this last break between rounds, and the champion appears totally distracted by it. Weston coming out in a hurry and comes out again trying to work to the body. But over the last 2 rounds, Harold Weston has not thrown the number of punches that he did early in the fight. The momentum, I guess, is the old word we all tend to use, seems to now belong to the champion. A quick left hand causing considerable trouble for Harold Weston. Back in the 9th round, Benitez loaded up the right hand. He's beginning to do it again here in the 12th round, and he just scored with it on the side of the head. It's been a tough, grueling fight. We saw Harold Weston shake his arms as he moved away. That is also a very definite sign of fatigue when a man steps back and shakes those arms to get fresh blood running through them. Weston's in trouble. The left hook got him in trouble. His knees buckled. He's in the center of the ring. Trying right now to stay away from Benitez. Here in the 12th round, Benitez really whipped him. He almost went down. Now it becomes a question of whether or not he can weather more than a minute as Benitez rips away at Weston on the rope. Now Harold trying to fight his way out of the corner. Weston's eyes not too clear. He really took a pop and really wobbled out in the center of the ring. The champion wild, trying to get him. Now Weston looks all right. For the moment, he was in real trouble. There's that right hand. Just missed. About a half minute to go here in the 12th round. I told you that Harold Weston was a tough, courageous fighter, and here in this 12th round, he's showing it. He's taking a pounding from Wilfred Benitez. He missed with a wild right, and the champion popped him with that left coming in. They're up in Benitez's corner right above it. Weston looks tired. The shot that really shook up Harold Weston. You see, he's loaded up that right hand and just lets it fly. See the knees buckle? And Weston almost dropped in the center of the ring. So they are working on Harold Weston. Meantime, in the champion's corner, the father is there, and nobody seems to be terribly happy about it, but he's there nonetheless. Spraying water all over the place. Looks like Dad might have been to the party before the fight. Benitez, with a grin on his face, looks at his dad, talking to him. I'll tell you one thing, he jacked up the pace of the champion's corner when he arrived. Everything got pretty exciting. All right, let's see the condition of Harold Weston as he walks all the way across the ring and finally gets Gregorio Benitez out of the ring, and the fight resumed a hard right hand by the champion. This is the 13th round. Weston almost went down in the 12th. Weston remains the aggressor, though. Keeps going right at him. But that's Benitez's game, off the ropes, like that. Bang, bang, bang. And over the long pull, it becomes a very wearisome thing to walk into a volley every time you're in position to hit somebody. The champion wearing the white trunks and the challenger Weston in the black trunks. Two years ago, it was a draw between these two at Madison Square Garden, the only mark on the champion's record. Benitez beating Carlos Palomino, January, right here. Hard right hand again, scores by Benitez. He just loads it up and plants it. Missed with that one. Hooks with the left and gets Weston on the side of the head. Benitez is hard to hit. Good movement. Good defense. He's also just 20 years of age. That right hand, a little too high to do much damage to Weston. But we're now reaching the point of the fight where its the cumulative effects of the blows landed could begin to tell. One, two, three, quick left jabs, and a hard right hand by Benitez, and that shook Weston. Harrell keeps pursuing doggedly. Inside a half minute to go now. Some of the sharpness is gone out of Weston's punches. 15 seconds to go in the 13th round. Weston again wild as he moved in. Missing completely. 14, and if there is a reserve in the soul of Harold Weston, he's got to go get it right now. Because the champion has taken command of the fight during the middle rounds, and now Weston must really come on to have a chance. Harold very effective through 5 rounds. Hard right hand by Benitez, and that clearly jars Weston. Some swelling around the left eye of Weston now. From all those right hands, the champion's loaded up. Benitez, flat-footed, unloads another right. That one's high off the side of the head of the challenger. Weston comes in, he's wild with a right. Again, a left, a right, another left by Benitez. He's now pretty much picking his spot. Arms down. Again, a sign of fatigue by Weston. Champion goes flat-footed, loads up that right again. Doesn't throw it. There's Gregorio Benitez in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. He's really jacked up the pace in the corner since he arrived about the 8th or 9th round. Left hook slides in there. 14th round. Scheduled for 15. See, in the early going, Weston got the champion on the ropes like that. He was able to score well to the body. Now he just simply doesn't have the quickness that he had. And he also doesn't appear to have the leverage anymore. Really hot and humid when you're not used to it. Hard right by the champion. Weston looks very weary. Harold Weston very tired after 14 rounds. The final round, number 15. The World Boxing Council welterweight title fight. The champion of the white trunks, Wilfred Benitez, in his home, Puerto Rico, San Juan, Bethorn Stadium outdoors. Harold Weston of New York City, his second title opportunity. He's continued to force the fight, but he's taken a good deal of punishment over the last half dozen rounds. The winner of this one goes against Dave Boy Green, May 26, Monaco, for the WBC title, and you'll see it here on ABC from Monte Carlo. Weston, game all the way, continues to bang away. But starting in round 8, the champion appeared to be gaining momentum. And from that point on, has had the control of the fight. Long right, jars Weston. He slipped a little bit. May have been more of a slip. It caused him to wobble than the blow. He almost went down back in the 12th round. We have had no knockdown. It's been a tough, grueling fight on a hot outdoor afternoon here in San Juan. Expected form was distant and a tough fight. It's been that way. Fought to a draw 2 years ago in the Garden. The only marks other than wins on Benitez's record. Weston continues to bang to the body, continues to come at the man. Left eye, quite swollen now, Harold Weston. There's been a half a dozen right hands land very hard in that neighborhood. Benitez looks actually quite fresh right now. He looks quite fresh. The 20-year-old from Puerto Rico who won the WPA Junior Championship at 147 pounds when he was 17 years of age, won the WBC World Welterweight title at age 20, making his first title defense here in San Juan. Got less than a half minute to go now, and he may very well have been successful in his first title defense. I don't want to prejudge it, but that would be my impression. And the winner of this fight goes on to meet Dave Boy Green in Monaco, May 26th. Fight's about over. And at the end of the fight, Harold Weston is still pursuing the champion, still going straight at him, still taking those sharp left hands as Wilfredo Benitez walks around confident he has won the fight, but we'll wait and see. We'll have the decision in a moment. All right, we're waiting for the decision. The ring not terribly crowded, not as crowded as you might anticipate these days when home crowd senses victory for their champion. They're picking up the card, so we'll wait until we get an official declaration on it. Harold Weston, very effective in the early going of the fight, but from the middle rounds, the 8th round on, it seemed to me to belong to the champion Benitez, with the winner of the fight going on to meet Dave Boy Green in Monte Carlo, May 26th. They're cutting the gloves off, and we're still waiting for the announcement. All right, here it is.
Por favor, señoras y señores, aquí está la decisión de los jueces. El juez César Ramos vota 146, 145, Wilfredo.
146, 145, Benitez from Judge Cesar Ramos.
Wallace Smith vota 144, 142, Wilfredo.
Benitez, 144, 142 on Judge Wilfredo Smith's vote.
Vota 149, 138.
Referee Richard
Ganador y a un
149,
campeón mundial de los
138.
welter.
Wilfred
Por
Benitez.
decisión unánime,
So Benitez
Wilfredo Benitez.
as the WBC welterweight champion, a unanimous decision and particularly decisive on the card of the referee Richard Steele from Los Angeles, 149-38. Judge Waldemar Schmidt voted 144-142, and Judge Cesar Ramos 146-145 in favor of the champion. So that's the story here.